Welcome back to Ferocious Education, this is Zed. Just before we start, I split this video into introduction, due diligence, and technical analysis. If you would like to watch my previous video on IPOC, you'll find it in the description below. Make sure to drop a like to this video to help the channel grow, subscribe, and leave notifications on. I can only see, by the way, that small percentage of you have subscribed, so I'd really appreciate it if you go ahead and press that button. Let's jump right into it. So, Clover Health. Now, I did cover a lot before, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start picking a little bit deeper into the SEC filings. So, initially, IPOC is reverse merging with Clover Health. They are Medicare with a bit more. They're more for the elderly. Now, if you would like to see a little bit more of what their plans are, you would have to put your zip code and see the plans. Now, of course, they're a lot limited, and I'm Canadian, so I don't have a zip code. I went ahead and got the zip code off somewhere random in Arizona. And what we get to see here is this is their plan. So their plan for, at least in Pima County in Arizona, is $0 per month, a plan with freedom to choose your doctor even if they're out of the network, plus allowance for comprehensive dental and over-the-counter items. It includes routine dental exams and cleanings, comprehensive dental, routine visions, routine hearing, gym membership, 24/7 doctor visits, OTC items. The max out-of-pocket cost is around $3,400. That's the most you pay out of the pocket during the plan in the year. Primary care visit around cost $0. Specialist visits around $15. Inpatient stay, hospital stays is $200 per day, around $0 per day if your stay is between 6 and a year. And then emergency care around $90. Out-of-patient surgery $200 for ambulance services, and $150 for hospital services. Sorry, not ambulance, ambulatory. Ambulances are $220 per service, very much comparable to $200. Prescription cost goes from 0 to 33% depending on what tier you are. Now, a bit more in depth in this one, you can click on, I believe you can actually go ahead and check the actual coverage yourself, view full benefits. You're able to see what the benefits really entails. Really, the main thing here, $3,400 for service you receive from in-network providers. That's the maximum out-of-pocket responsibility you have. Next over, we have the Investors Relations website. Now, a lot of this is not updated, so we'll have to dig into the SEC filings. The SEC filings really puts around $4.8 billion at a maximum proposed offering price of $10.79. It is not an offering, they're raising more shares in terms of the reverse merger, and that's part of the pipe, raising money, etc. I'll go through the details in a second. The current price is around $11.36, so the $10.79 is a little bit lower than the current price, where they're going to be raising additional shares, securities, and all that stuff coming through. Now, of course, it does still have time to be apprehended. The next thing here is, when is it going to close? Now, of course, there is the vote happening on January 6th, 2021. That is their general meeting, but it's expected to close before or prior to February 16, 2021. That's at least based on their SEC filing. Now, the vote is happening on the meeting is happening at January 6th, 2021 at noon. I believe that is Eastern Standard Time. So the new ticker will be SCH, and it is expected to change before February 16th, 2021. Now, the vote has not occurred yet, but you do expect that it actually passes with flying colors. Some of the things to mention about Clover Health. Clover Health is a next-generation Medicare Advantage insurance company offering the best-in-class plans that combine wide access to healthcare and rich supplement benefits with low out-of-pocket expense. A unique model in healthcare, Clover Health partners with primary healthcare physicians using software platform, Clover Health Assistant, to deliver data-driven personalized insight at the point of care. The transaction is expected to fuel Clover's trajectory as one of the nation's fastest-growing Medicare Advantage plans. Transaction value of Clover Enterprise at $3.7 billion and expected to provide $1.2 billion in cash proceeds, including fully committed pipe of around $400 million and up to $828 million in cash held in trusted account for SCH. Pipe led by $100 million from Chamath Palihapitiya, founder and CEO of SCH, and $50 million from Hedosophia. as well as the commitment from Fidelity Management and Research LLC. So there is a lot of push there and backing up from big names including Fidelity. Clover is expected to receive up to $728 million of transactions proceeds and up to $500 million of cash proceeds that is expected to allocate to existing Clover shareholders. So that is indeed a lot of money being put in. It definitely, if they have some sort of debt, etc., that will really push it ahead, and they'll be able to pay off any debts or any kind of plans they have in terms of expansions. Now, it definitely could go ahead with showing you like the total debts and stuff, but we don't have enough data to cover that. So we're going to move forward. So on their presentation, I believe this is around here, transaction overview, it really shows a bit more in details. IPOS illustrative share price is around $10 with a total equity value of around 4.4 that's millions, so $4.4 billion. Total enterprise value is around $3.7 billion, but that is adjusted to the net cash on balance sheet. So there's the total enterprise value over revenue is 4 times based on 2021 estimated revenue of $880 million and around 2.1 times based on 2023 revenue of $1.7 billion. Now the cash from IPOC will be around $828 million. Total source cash from PIPE will be $400, so the total will be around $1.2 billion. The uses will be the cash to balance sheet will be around $668 million. Secondary proceeds will be around $500, and the estimated expenses will be $60 million. So that kind of gives you a breakdown. Next is the pro forma enterprise value is $3.07 billion. 100% rollover by existing Clover management. Over $733 million of pro forma net cash will held on balance sheet, and completion of transaction is expected in the first quarter at 2021. So I think that kind of covers everything we need. Now they have a bit more information on the appendix, etc. Over here we get to see what their net perhaps debt is. So currently they're doing a net loss of around 200. Well, this is the year ending for December 31st. I believe this is 2019, around $363 million. So the net proceeds will balance the sheet quite nicely. Next comes in is, hey, is there any other information we have? Well, just a quick reminder that the person here, let me just zoom in a little bit. The person here that is pushing ahead with the SPAC of IPOC, this is not his first IPO. In fact, it is his third IPO. So his first SPAC was actually Virgin Galactic, SPCE, and that was in 2019. We get to see SPAC has done okay for the majority of the part, but I think it went around from, let's say, $10.60 to an average around 60% higher, around $17. It has its jumps and ups, but I would say $17 looks like a good mean for 2020 in terms of the average price. Now coming in towards the technical analysis part. Now, Ed, what do you think about this one? On a 1 week perspective, it's hard to mention because we don't have enough data points to represent that data. On the ADX, it does show that there's a very, very strong trend here. William percent R is sitting at a little bit overbought. MACD is stable. Momentum is strong. Moving averages are actually quite bullish at this level. And the trading action zone is between 1079 and 1055. 10 SMA is above 30 EMA bullish, and it's above the 50 SMA. Now, it is expected to trade all the way even down to 1055 and would still be bullish. Below there, starts to get bearish. Now, on a 2-hour perspective, what we get to see is that it is within the trading action zone. Below 1131 on the 2-hour perspective, it starts to get a little bit choppy. Now, the trading action zones is where positive reversals are likely. And you get to see it did try to break that trend down to 1130 and then bounce back. Right now in the extended hours, as we speak, it's also testing it once again. Nonetheless, it still looks like the moving averages are all pointing upwards, which is a strong trend. The rest is just showing a little bit of sloppiness and a bit weakness. Now the moving average band, that's where it's expected to trade. It has been following it just okay. 1136 on the top is expected. Sorry, 1147 on the top is expected. 1042 in the middle and 938 in the bottom. Now one thing to pinpoint on this one is notice how the volume is actually lowering every day. That is a warning sign. That's a little bit dangerous, but it has happened before. For instance, around here, it lowered, but not at this level. Usually, Somewhere around the second day, somewhere around here is where people would want to start selling when volume has decreased. As you get to see, volume has increased in the price point. Right now, volume is dying, and that is usually a warning sign. Stochastic fast and stochastic slow are both showing two different things. Stochastic slow is showing there is a possibility of another leg up. Stochastic fast is showing a pullback is nearing. Fibonacci retracements, supports and resistances helps us pinpoint a little bit of key points where algorithms play. 1120 is the current support, followed by 1069. Current resistances sit at 1161, followed by 1202 and 1261. Now let's jump right into a little bit of old school price line actions for supports and resistances. Current support sits at 1136. Below there, 1127. Below there, we're looking at 1118. Down to $11. And from $11, 1076 to 1057, 1045. Then we're jumping down to 1036 to 1022. Significant resistance levels, we're talking about 1145. Above 1145, we're talking about 1153. And then jumping up to 1182. Going up to 1219 to 1245. Jumping up to 1272 and then to 1302. Now, Ed, what do you think about this one? Before I go there, we do have a Discord that we talk about stocks like this all day. Completely free, there's no cash. We just want more people to open up the discussion, get alternative points, and help each other trade during the day. Completely free, it's in the description below. Now, coming into what I think about the stock. Now, definitely, you get to see that there is a scare about the maximum price where they're going to release a lot of the PIPE proceedings for reverse merger is around 1079. It's trading above there. That's something scaring some people. Now, do you think it's a long-term investment? Yes, if you're going to hold this for 4 or 5 years, I think it's solid. Even 2 years. But if you're trading this one, there is a lot of warning signs that are saying, hey, there is a pullback. Hey, and if you're investing, maybe you want to lower your average later on. But if you're trading, this one is a little bit dangerous, especially if you're coming in from the $9. You might want to start considering a little bit spacing out and selling. The only reason is I'm not bullish about this one. I'm not bearish about this one. I'm bullish about this one. I like the stock. I like what they hold. I like Clover Health. But the charts itself are indicating that there is a possibility of a pullback at least to come. I'm not saying a downtrend. I'm just saying a pullback. What do you think about the sticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like. You have a wonderful day.